This is Southampton Story, a community effort to build a stronger Southampton.
Welcome everybody. What a wonderful day today is. It's beautiful out. We were hoping for no rain, and we are blessed that we don't have any rain today right now. Today is such an important day because we have a lot of our neighbors here joining us, folks from the community, to talk about ways we can keep our pets safe and ways that we can improve the safety of our community more broadly. Vaccinating and licensing your pet is such an important part of keeping a healthy and safe, vibrant community. So thank you to all of you for being here. I'm really proud to team up with Town Clerk Cindy Schermeyer and Public Safety Director Ryan Murphy today to emphasize this really critically important effort. I also want to thank the Southampton Town Animal Shelter Foundation and the volunteers, Chris Teakle, the Executive Director. The Animal Shelter Foundation is really an invaluable and incredible resource for our town, helping to provide affordable services for families seeking veterinary care. And I also want to give a special thanks to Humane Long Island. The Executive Director, John DeLeonardo, is here with us. They've been an integral partner with local governments across the region here in Suffolk County, informing municipalities on ways to strengthen animal welfare laws within our communities. So, John, thank you for being with us, and everybody else, thanks for being a part of this afternoon with us. Part of animal welfare is not just enacting laws that guard pets against abuse and mistreatment. That's obviously a key part of it. But there's other processes and procedures that are also important. So licensing your pets, ensuring they're vaccinated and up to date in a community where there is a lot of interaction between dogs and people, that is vitally important. So this event is really a way to restart and respark interest in ensuring that your pets are licensed, that your vaccines are up to date. And doing so really carries numerous benefits. It's a way to evidence proof of vaccination in the off chance that there is a not so desirable interaction that arises between a strange dog and an individual, or when a dog is found after gone missing. It allows for a prompt awareness for a safe return of your pets. So licensing obviously goes hand in hand with vaccination. So today's effort really demonstrates the protection of our pets' health and the public health of the broader community. And likewise, it ensures that residents are following the mandatory legal requirements to pet vaccinations. Now, let me just say a few things about our town clerk, Cindy Schermeyer, and her office. I really want to thank Clerk Schermeyer, who has demonstrated exceptional leadership as our town clerk, helping us as a municipality stay up to date on the most state-of-the-art record-keeping technology and ensuring that there is public access to our documents and records here in the town. A round of applause for Town Clerk Schermeyer. You wouldn't think that, the vaccination of your pets and the clerk's procedures go hand in hand, but the clerk's office is such a key function of town government, and I couldn't be more pleased with how Clerk Schermeyer and her staff run this ship. It is incredible. As liaison to the town clerk, along with Councilman Bill Pell, I witness on a daily basis the smiles on many of your staff members, Sunday, when they help residents and residents getting the guidance necessary to get where they need to go. So really thank you to the staff there, and also thank you to our Public Safety Director, Ryan Murphy, for all that you do as well to keep our community safe. I also want to thank, just for the event today, just really quickly, I want to thank Public Safety, I want to thank Municipal Works, I want to thank the Parks Department, also our CRC team and CTV team for being here and helping out. I want to hand it off to our Town Clerk, Cindy Schermeyer.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Councilman Iacilli. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you all for being here today. I have to say, I'm very excited to see some dogs in our audience that have come to take advantage of this wonderful program that we're providing today. The collaboration with all of our groups and organizations is really significant because it shows that we really are concerned about our animal population, and we know we all love our dogs and they need to be taken care of and protected. There are some outbreaks recently in Nassau and Suffolk County of different animals in the environment getting rabies. And our dogs often go on walks and they're in all sorts of areas and you just don't know when they might be exposed to something. So having the vaccine is the law in the state of New York. It's not supposed to be optional as to whether or not you vaccinate your dog. And licensing is required by the state went out of the licensing business in 2010 and let all of the town clerks know that it was now going to be our responsibility to take over tracking all of the animals and the licensing. So we came up with a program that has sustained and is working quite well. Basically, any dog over 4 months of age in the town of Southampton needs to be licensed. And in order to be licensed, it needs to be vaccinated with the rabies vaccine. The most important reason why the towns throughout New York State were charged with continuing the dog licensing when they passed it on to the local municipalities was it is the mechanism to ensure that dogs receive their rabies vaccinations. This not only protects the dogs that might be exposed in their travels outdoors, but also the people throughout our communities, as we have been reading, of the rabies cases of late. Peace of mind also. It helps to protect your dog in the event it gets lost. The license attached to the dog's collar gives the phone number to call where the license database can be accessed to help identify the dog so it can be picked up at the animal shelter by the owner. And that really is so important because we see dogs that are lost or they get out of the house and people are distraught because it's like another member of the family. And it's so important that we have this database to refer to. We work very closely with code enforcement, with Ryan Murphy's team, who are just amazing, and the animal shelter, because we reconnect families with their loved pets. And it's important on the weekends because my office is not open to give that access and that information, and they provide that service in the absence of us being in town hall. So I greatly appreciate all the work that we do, and the animal shelter is essential. As dogs are getting adopted, they're not allowed to leave the shelter without their vaccination. So right out of the gate, and they also leave with a license. So they get off to a good start as they head to their new homes. And we thank you all for all of the work that you do to take care of our four-legged friends. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our... Sure. You have a long time.
Thank you for coming out today. Thank you for involving us in this. Sandy and Michael, we appreciate very much being able to participate. The Department of Public Safety and Emergency Management also is the home for the town's animal control office. And so they're often the people that are encountering lost and loose pets out in the streets when you don't expect them to get out. And the importance of licensing, as has already been mentioned, really comes into play strongly during times like that because it exponentially enhances our ability to have a successful reunification with owners when we have licensed animals. The ability to connect them through the database, not just licensing, but the concept of chipping animals is also a tremendous help for success. And when it comes to things like dealing with some of the more recent concerns in the past several months in Nassau County, it is where the concerns really started, and then progressed on to Suffolk with some of the issues with rabies being present within the communities, largely associated with raccoons and other animals. Knowing what we have in terms of our dog population, our animal population in the township, helps us be able to keep track of things like that, to try and monitor what's going on and react accordingly to try and protect everyone's pets in the community. It also helps us for planning purposes when it comes to things like emergency management and getting ready for storms and other events, being able to have a decent count on what quantity of pets we have in the community. We can try and do our best to make plans and allocate resources accordingly to be able to prepare for events like that. So on top of just the success of reunification, if you happen to have your pet get out and get loose, the other planning things that you don't necessarily think of really come into play strongly in this, on top of, as was mentioned several times already, just kind of remembering that it is the law. We are supposed to have all of our pets vaccinated and all of our dogs vaccinated and licensed within any of the towns within the state of New York. So it's important to do it for those purposes as well. All right. Thank you very much for coming today. And I believe, Chris, you're up next, the Executive Director of the Animal Shelter.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. It's lovely to see some furry friends as well. So I also want to thank Michael and Ryan for inviting us to come along and to participate today. I think Michael's really gone through the key points of vaccinations, and that is really, animal longevity and community as well. We have to remember that let's be proactive and not reactive. We have our beautiful clinic here today. We do low-cost vaccinations from $20, $30 to $50, depending on the animal. So, take advantage of this, facility that we have. Dr. Terry Meekins has been with the shelter, I think, since the inception. She's sitting here right now today. So I'm going to keep this short because I am mindful of the furry friends there, but please come up and introduce yourself to me today. We love working with the community. We have a great relationship with the town, and we want to continue to do that. So events like this really help us create some visibility. I have a phenomenal team. They do amazing work. For those who might know, we're under repairs at the moment, and the town has been so supportive on what we're trying to achieve as well. So we're not closed. We're still open. We still have this beautiful clinic available for low-cost vaccinations. So we're here to support the community and the town, and so thank you for coming out today, and I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Hi, my name is John DiLeonardo. I'm an anthrozoologist and the Executive Director of Humane Long Island. I'm very glad to be here today with this very progressive and proactive town that we've had a pleasure of working with on a number of issues. I want to thank Michael, and I want to thank Sunday and Ryan. Glad to stand here with our friends from the Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation, which we've had a long-standing relationship with on a number of animals in the town. I'd like to remind everyone that it is critically important to get your animals vaccinated, to make sure that they're licensed so that they can promptly be returned to you if they do go missing. With the rising cases of rabies in Suffolk County, it is critically important that we make sure we're keeping our animals responsibly, walking our dogs on leashes, not letting them interact with wildlife for the safety of both the wildlife and our own companions. And I think it's wonderful that Southampton has waived the fees today to allow people to get their dogs licensed and vaccinated free of charge. So this is something that I think people should be doing for everyone. Not only is it the law, but it's to protect the public, it's to protect animals. Rabies is a very deadly disease, but an entirely preventable disease. So there's no reason not to get your pet vaccinated. As far as other animals go in the township, there's no licensing for cats, but we do want to make sure cats are getting vaccinated as well, and that we're protecting wildlife and cats by keeping them indoors. So if you are looking to welcome a furry friend into your life, whether that's a dog or a cat, Humane Long Island discourages you from shopping. Always adopt, don't shop, don't breed, don't buy. Support our friends at the Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation. And with that, you get licensing, you get microchipping, you get spay and neuter, all included in the adoption fee.
Thank you. Thanks, sir. I just want to say just a couple of things. As you heard, the animal shelter is undergoing renovations. I was proud to work with Ryan Murphy as I came aboard on the town council to help move the process along, to help the grant move forward. But I also want to just acknowledge Councilwoman Cindy McNamara, who's joining us as well back there. If you want to come on up, you're welcome to. She was helpful in helping to initiate the grant process, so we really appreciate your work on that. And I also want to mention we're here till 2 today. to help you at the clerk's booth. I know we have some folks in the audience with your pets. That's great. Thank you so much for being here. So the clerk's booth is over there. The shelter's here. We're happy to help you for the next couple hours. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Michael.